Okay, real quick, before anything else, I need you to hear this one line. Someone said, on camera, about a 15-year-old Justin Bieber.
And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
About a child. On camera. Like, that was a completely normal thing to say. And nobody said anything. Nobody flinched. Nobody pulled that kid aside and said, hey, wait a minute, something's not right here. That was then. But now, Justin is starting to talk. And suddenly, things are getting very interesting. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. So look, I know there's been a lot of Diddy content floating around lately. I get it. But hear me out, because this angle, this one specifically involving Justin Bieber, I don't think people are fully grasping how deep this actually goes. Because we're not just talking about gossip or speculation here. We're talking about videos that exist, receipts that are just sitting there, and a young guy who, by his own words, got absolutely chewed up by this industry when he was just a kid. So let's just talk through this like normal people, from the beginning. All right, so first, if you haven't seen the Diddy and Justin Bieber clips, let me paint the picture for you. Justin is 15 years old. 15! And he's hanging out with one of the most powerful men in the music industry. And there's this moment, caught on camera, where Diddy looks directly at the lens and goes,
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him, you know.
Custody. He said custody about someone else's teenage child and just laughed it off. Oh, and then, same video, he promises Justin a car when he turns 16, a whole mansion when he turns 18. And Justin's just sitting there like, okay, cool, yeah, sounds great. Because he's 15, and this is the biggest name in music, treating him like family. At the time, people thought it was just Diddy being flashy, being generous, being the cool older guy in the industry. But bro, watching that back now, it does not feel the same way. Here's something that I think gets overlooked a lot in this conversation. Justin was being put in uncomfortable situations by powerful people his whole career, not just Diddy. We're talking older celebrities, on stage, on TV, in front of cameras and audiences, doing and saying things to a literal teenager that nobody should have let slide. And the industry just watched, smiled, clapped even. So when you see that pattern over and over again, it starts to make sense why Justin ended up the way he did for a while. Because nobody was actually protecting him. They were all just enjoying the show. Now here's where the internet really started going crazy. When all the Diddy stuff started coming out, the arrests, the allegations, the whole thing, most people in his circle either spoke out, distanced themselves, or at minimum said something. Justin? Nothing. Complete silence. And look, I get why people might say, okay, maybe he just doesn't want to get involved. Fair enough. But the silence, combined with everything else, it made people connect dots. One person said it pretty directly.
After he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. What would cause a kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking? What would cause a kid to do that?
I mean, usually trauma.
Or a Diddy party.
Now, I'm not just throwing that out there as fact, but I am saying people are asking the question, and the question makes sense when you look at the timeline. Think about it. Justin blows up at 13. He's around Diddy at 15. And then just a few years later, he's publicly falling apart. The drugs, the legal issues, the erratic behavior. And he himself has said he felt completely lost during that period. People want to understand why. And right now, Diddy is the name that keeps coming up. So here's the part that's got people really paying attention lately. Justin hasn't come out and said, here's what happened with Diddy. Not directly. But he has started opening up about his experience in the industry. And honestly, some of what he's saying is pretty heavy when you sit with it. He was asked once, what would you tell your 15-year-old self? And he said,
because I was innocent and I was young and I trusted everybody. And with being young and innocent in this industry, it's not necessarily the best thing because people take advantage of vulnerability. And so I think I was just in a place of just trusting everyone and, thinking everyone was on my side and eventually getting burned. And
he said he started putting up walls, shut people out completely. Said he lost his personality, lost his whole vibe, because he just couldn't trust anyone anymore. Bro, that's not just a celebrity talking about fame being hard. That's someone describing what it feels like after real damage has been done. And people are hearing that, and they're connecting it to everything we now know about the environment he was in. Okay, so this is the part that's making headlines right now. Go back to that line I played at the top.
And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
That wasn't a joke. That was a message said on camera to the public about a teenager. Basically saying, this kid knows the rules. He knows to keep his mouth shut. That was then. Now, Justin starts opening up, starts talking about betrayal, about being taken advantage of, about losing himself. And people in certain circles are, allegedly, still sending signals, still reminding folks what's at stake when you start talking. And meanwhile, Diddy is sitting in prison, fighting his sentence right now. His lawyers just took the case to a federal appeals court in New York, arguing that his 4-year sentence was too harsh. Prosecutors are firing back, saying it's actually below federal guidelines. He's not supposed to get out until April 2028, but his team is clearly working overtime to change that. So the idea that there's pressure, even from behind bars, on people who might be thinking about speaking out, that's not crazy. That's how these situations work. Look, here's where I land on all of this. There are genuinely two ways to look at it. One, Justin is slowly working up to saying something real. His recent interviews feel like a guy testing the water, seeing how much he can share before he has to say the thing he's not ready to say yet. Two, the internet has connected dots that maybe don't connect, and Justin is just a guy who had a rough few years and is healing, and dragging his name into this just makes things harder for him. Both of those things could be true at the same time, honestly. But what I can't ignore, and what I don't think you can ignore, is that a grown, powerful man described having custody of a 15-year-old on camera. That Justin himself said people in this industry took advantage of him when he was young and vulnerable. And that his breakdown came right after the years he was closest to these people. Like someone said, and I think it's the simplest way to put it,
When there's smoke, there's fire.
maybe Justin never says another word about any of this publicly. And honestly, if that's what keeps him safe and at peace, I respect it. Because based on everything he's already shared, it sounds like this man has been through enough. But I want to know what you think. Do you think Justin is building up to finally telling the full story? Or do you think he's made peace with keeping certain things private? And we should respect that. Drop it in the comments. Genuinely want to hear where you guys are at with this one. If you're new here, subscribe. We talk about this stuff honestly and without all the dramatics. No fake outrage, just real conversation. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.